So found a stick, found a magnet. Took me a minute. Took me a long ass minute. And I found another journal. I see now that my suspicions have been well grounded, albeit aimed into the wrong direction. Belladonna is not seeing another man, she is seeing a woman. I am convinced that it must be that May, Claire, or whatever her name might be. She and Belladonna are up to something, I'm sure of it. And to think of all the hours I'm stuck down here, caught up in my dreadful work, leaving them free to roam and left to their own devices upstairs. Of course, they have found each other, only living in this whole castle besides me and my week-long rabbits. They have it all figured out. When I come up at night, they act all innocent, keeping their own mutual secret from me as a playful game. But as soon as I descend into the laboratory, they're in each other's arms again. But what can I do? The progression of these events are beyond my control, just like my work. I slave away in my ghoulish endeavors, making progress every hour, but never getting anywhere. And simultaneously, Belladonna is slipping away from me, further and further for each night, and yet nothing ever changes. Should I confront them? Storm up there hoping to catch the two in the act? Take back the life that was mine? The wife that was mine? No. I have no reason for silly suspicions, no evidence whatsoever, merely a thought stuck in my brain refusing to leave. So I remain passive, as always, and new day is one more where I am unable to make an action, unable to change my wretched situation. Don't know where you're getting that, man, but okay.
A couple of cogwheels on the floor. They must have fallen off the mechanism when the door slammed shut. I wonder if I can put them back. It doesn't fit. Not yet. It doesn't fit. It doesn't fit.
The fuck? All these journal pages.
The doctor is losing it. He's just scribbling down nonsense by now. What will he do if he ever acts on his wild suspicions?
Oh fucking god. It is clear to me what I must do. I am now convinced beyond my reasonable doubt that my wife is unfaithful. They still hide it very well, her and that housemaid, but my logical mind tells me there is no other explanation. For countless hours I have pondered this situation, and the more I think about it, the more certain I become that my judgment is correct. These countless hours are hours I've could have spent thinking about my work. It is clear to me that I will never be able to fully concentrate on the puzzle at hand as long as my thoughts keep creeping back to my wife and her new lover. This is the reason, well, this is the very reason that my research is progressing at such an agonizing slow pace. So it's clear to me what I must do. Belladonna herself is the person who I want back into my life, so I cannot punish her. That leaves her lover, the young maid. She is unimportant, and it is she that must go. I would fire her and throw her out of the household, but I fear this would not resolve anything. The two of them would still know of each other, and they could write secrets, forbidden love letters, or meet up at secluded rendezvous. No, it is clear to me what I must do. I must get rid of the maid for good. A plan is already taking form in my head. In the greenhouse out back, I keep a pot of plants of herbs, and one of the specimens I've called is deadly nightshade, an interesting plant with many medical uses, but it is renowned from the fact that it is distracted is already lethal at small doses. Preparing a powder for this poisonous plant is not problematic at all. Getting the victim to digest the dose will be a challenge, but I expect to have ample opportunity. They are not aware that I know the truth, and thus suspect nothing. The maid will fall ill, and within a short time she will die of seemingly natural causes. No one will be the wiser concerning the true circumstances of her demise. Deadly nightshade is merely the common name for the plant. Its scientifically named Atrophia belladonna. The symmetry strikes me as beautiful. The poor girl strayed too close to the belladonna, and that will be the death of her. Killing bitches.
A big and heavy candlestick. It looks like there used to be two of them. It's warm. I haven't realized until now just how cold my body is. The label says Dr. Wolfram von Trauerschloss. So this is the man who brings the dead back to life. He looks as though he would have been handsome once. A beautiful china bowl. It looks hand-painted. This story is so sad. I don't even know if I want to read this one.
The story's fucked up. My wife took the wayward's maid death harder than I expected, further confirming my suspicions that they were indeed having a secretive love affair. She is passionate and irrational, raging all day and crying all night. Where a few months ago the cold shroud of silence laid over our house, now there's wailing shrieks of bedridden. One should think that she would be used to dealing with the grief of loss of loved ones by now. However, in all sincerity, I don't believe she was ever affected by the death of our only son as I was. I only suspected that she might have guessed I had something to do with our lover's demise. That she wouldn't talk to me before, now she yells and barks at my every movement. I hardly leave my laboratory these days. I even have a small bed down here where I sleep the few hours when I am not working. All the while she prowls upstairs like a hungry tiger and attacks me over futile nitpicks as soon as I poke my head out. What happened to the love we shared when we were married? We were going to live together in her inherited castle. We were going to have children together. Now all I get is abuse in a cold bed in the basement. All I want is for things to get back the way they were before all of this. This is abuse. Well, what dude did?
The name on the plaque is Lucas von Trauerschloss. This must be the ashes of Wolfram's son. A dead body.
It ain't all that serious.
It's the body of Dr. von Trauerschloss. He's dead. And what's more, he's been murdered. But who could have done this? There must be some clues around. The missing candlestick. And it seems to be the murder weapon. The body is still warm. He cannot have been dead for much longer than I have been alive. Did he have to die for me to live? The back of his head has been cracked open by a heavy blow. He couldn't have seen the attack coming. He was dead before he knew what happened. So he trusted his assailant then? Was it me? I have no memories from my life before. Maybe it was I who killed him. But then, how was I brought back? Blood is flowing from a wound in his skull. I wonder if he was alive when he was killed, or if he was just a mechanical cadaver like me. There is no clockwork or artificial parts that I can see. But how can you tell? There's something in his pocket. It's a small, delicate key. He kept it in the pocket closest to his heart. I wonder what it unlocks.